Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Roller Derby Tournament 2024, Day 2. I'm going to be your announcer, Bujitsu.
And I'm Chuck Norris.
And we are getting ready to start off the Game 1 of the second day. This will be Cleveland Guardians versus Detroit men's roller derby. Yesterday we had some great battles with a lot of teams. No major blowouts so far, other than the games that Terminus had, who came with 7. What do you think about what happened yesterday?
Like I said, a lot of great derby. Would say that the game of the day yesterday was Detroit versus the Zombies. That was the tightest game, and a lot of fun to watch. A lot of great derby from all teams. A lot of big. We had big love on the stream. 4 Terminus coming out rocking with the 7.
Yeah.
And we're rooting. We always root for the perceived underdog, just with the travel issues and everything that your team faced. Coming in, playing with that so much heart, you're coming out with nothing but love out of this tournament.
Yeah, it was for Terminus, not to hijack everything, but Terminus really. We actually had 12 scheduled to come out. Only made it with 7 because of the travel stuff. Really random issue to happen to us that you can't prepare for. You can prepare for breakdowns. You can prepare for last minute like COVID issues. Yeah. Cannot prepare for the world crashing with flight statuses. But overall, I agree with you with the Detroit and Pittsburgh game. Only 54 points separated the two at the end of the game. Phenomenal derby on both sides. And Detroit also playing down with 9 skaters. So hands down to them for all the efforts that they've been able to put out this weekend. Phenomenal skating.
All the hits and none of the quits. Let's run down the Detroit men's roller derby roster for today. 0-0, we've got Drift, 19, Timber, 25, Jax, 27, Slamwise Gamgee, 37, Eat, Chip, and Die. There's 3 exclamation points, so I have to emphasize. Number 4, Booty Vicious, 5, Cutter, number 8, G Barbie, and number 87, Rice.
And then in blue, we've got 0 is 0. 1-0, Talk About Pain. 1-0-4, Poison IZ. 1171, Snuffy. 256, D Crypt. 1330, Churakia. Number 3, Blitzkrieg. Number 42, Adrenaline Rush. Number 47, Just Crazy. Number 5, Wikipedia. Number 619, Chops. Number 67, Fury. 777, Raptor. And 889, Right Hand Man.
Looks like they're lining up. Seems to be a little talk, some high fives and fist bumps. Looks like we're going to start with Right Hand Man and Jax on the line.
Ref crews right now, a lot of love to our ref crews. We only have 2 rotating, so these folks have skated a lot of laps today, and massive shout out to all the jam refs for putting up with us today. This has been not an easy tournament for them.
They're looking for slow, deliberate packs on first thing Sunday morning.
I'll tell you what, we're still waking up, haven't had all the coffee yet. And that 5 seconds says we're about to get started. Right Hand Man versus Jax. Jax doing a phenomenal job yesterday, taking charge of Detroit, really putting out some serious athleticism.
Power jam for Detroit. Jax would lead. Right Hand Man goes to the box on a cut.
Already within 30 seconds, we've already got our first penalty. That's unfortunate for Cleveland. Big hit by Fury, numbers blue 6-7. Almost got Jax on the inside of turn 2. But Jax is able to stay upright inbounds and scores 4 points. Right Hand Man comes out of the penalty box, decides to take the long way around.
There's a lot of different thoughts about how you re-enter the track. Just like the set with the, I think probably Right Hand Man likes the momentum that he would get taking the long way, as opposed to sprinting down the side, doing a quick turnaround, and then step down the track, losing all that momentum.
Sometimes it is easier. It's very unfortunate to re-enter the track and just be immediately stuck. 7 points goes to Detroit to start off day 2 of Roller Derby Tournament 2024. Jax coming out making a strong statement against this Cleveland wall. Next up, we've got 0. We've got 0 versus 0-0. Outstanding. 0 versus Drift. 0 comes out the outside of the straightaway. Lead jammer, and then we also have a Booty Vicious on a forearm, so that'll be the first penalty for Detroit. A second penalty being called on G Barbie. Penalties being assessed everywhere. Forearms all over the place. 2 goes to the box for Cleveland. So 2-on-2 pack situation. Both jammers out. 0 versus 0-0.
And 0 calls it. Both teams will start the next jam short. Each 2 in the box.
Jax versus Huffy for jam number 3. And a timeout being called by Cleveland. This is going to be a tough situation for Huffy on this, since Jax is extremely agile and jumpy. This could be a quick jam, or a quick lead status for Detroit.
Now, if they cannot hold Jax, it'll be important for them to play that quick offense, get Snuffy out of the pack as quickly as possible, and just force Jax to call it if at all possible.
There's a wonderful strategy that I like. I've seen some teams use it where you basically pull the goalie in hockey, and you use the jammer as an additional blocker. And that sometimes helps slow the jammer down in the initial, 10, 15 seconds. Let's see if they're able to pull that off.
We call that the 5 wall when you start off.
5 wall. Yeah.
And it's a great strategy, because if you can, especially if you've gotten the back and you can bubble back and just lead the opposing jammer into the quicksand so that you can put him in the sad place and just hold him there.
So a lot of things happening with the ref crew. Not sure exactly what's happening. We'll get you guys updated soon. While we're waiting for this, if you are in the Cleveland area, Cleveland Guardians are excited to announce their 2025 home season opener on St. Paddy's Day weekend, March 15th. Be sure to subscribe to their live feed, following updates on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. This stream will be live posted on Facebook, and I believe will actually be posted on YouTube a little bit later as well.
Yes, there will be archived on YouTube.
So tell your friends, if they're missing the live action, they still have a chance to watch all the hot roller derby action. And there it is, Jax out, lead jammer status. Huff playing it hard against the Detroit pivot, number 5 cutter.
Yeah, Snuffy's cleared the pack. About a quarter track behind Jax here, so now Detroit has the box clear. Let's see if Jax continues to look for some points.
Cleveland has now cleared the box now, so we're back to full 5-on-5 action. And a very, very racy pack on both sides, so this is going to be kind of tough to slow down the jammer.
Fast pack.
Adrenaline Rush did a fantastic job catching Jax, slowing him down and recycling back. That's very, very difficult to do in a fast-moving pack.
Good put out by G Barbie there on Snuffy. Draws back. Start over at the back of the pack. Jax has cleared the pack once more for another 4.
Huffy taking a look at the jam time to see how much time she has left. Call off, and this will be a lead change possibly. Oh. Yep, we have a lead change, 1916. Drift now going against Right Hand Man. Right Hand Man loves apexes and is very jukey, very agile, and really can actually hit. Will massive pile up in turn 1, and that will release. Oh, a low block being called on 0-0 Drift, so that will release Right Hand Man for lead jammer status to Cleveland.
And the Guardians currently down 1 blocker as Chops is going to the box.
Timber going for a big hit to the outside of the straightaway, misses and falls. Track cut on Right Hand Man, so we go in full 2 minutes. 0-0 Drift has been released from the penalty box, so Right Hand Man will have to sit for a full 30 seconds.
Guardians back at full strength with Chops exiting the box.
Cleveland bodies falling all over the place.
Detroit looking to stretch out the Cleveland wall a little bit, make it a little bit easier for Drift to make it through that pack. Right Hand Man standing, getting ready, and has entered the game.
Cutter did a phenomenal job right there, trying to reform the pack against Jess, who got recycled to the rear of the pack. Was able to stretch it out just a little bit. And then lays a big hit on Right Hand Man, but Right Hand Man unfazed out for another 4 points. Detroit begging Drift to call off the jam.
There was just one thing. He wasn't lead jam.
That's right. Yeah, that power jam, sometimes you get a little mixed up in the chaos. So 12-4 jam, another lead change in favor of Detroit. As we go into jam number 5, Jax facing off against Zero. Zero starting about 30 feet back. Tried to build up a little bit of momentum, did not get it, and is assessed a track cut, power jam Detroit.
Now both teams, they need to take a moment, regroup. They need to stay out of the box.
Yeah, this has really become a very penalty-heavy jam. Only 7.5 minutes into the first game, and there's already been a ton of penalties on both sides. Zero turning backwards, going against Cutter. Was able to stretch out Detroit to the front, is out for non-scoring pass, or the initial pass, excuse me. Zero going full Ricky Bobby through the pack and comes out 4 points as Jax re-enters the pack again, sneaks through 4 points.
Now Zero showing great lateral movement as well as toe stop work on these passes, just like bending himself around the Detroit blockers.
And as a tall jammer, it's really impressive how fast he can skate and get around stuff like that. Fury putting down a pretty big hit on Jax to slow Jax down. Meanwhile, Zero backwards on one skate comes through 4 points.
About 15 seconds left in the jam.
Both jammers matching each other very well, 16-16. Apex jump on the outs or the inside of Booty Vicious.
Oh, big jam for both teams.
My goodness. And an official review being called by Detroit. 24-20 point jam. It almost, I hate saying this, but it seems like both walls really struggled on that jam to contain either jammer. And it's like, Jackson Zero, phenomenal jammers, but the walls actually failed their jammers by not doing a good enough job to contain the opposing jammer.
Looks like the packs were running a little fast, and when you have the varying speeds between the different blockers, setting up your tripod can be difficult. And so, when you're stretched out, both lines of blockers, they were stretched out, so both jammers just bobbed and weaved and
took advantage of it.
They totally did. And during this official review, let's take a moment to acknowledge our skating officials today on the track. We have Will Hudson, Disco de Box, Carmen Dragon, Chemical Restraint, Guinness, A Gru, Fighting Girlfriend, and You'll Need a Rehab.
All right, so White is asking for a call on the blue jammer for not acknowledging the ref's call for a penalty immediately. They will lose their official review. So the refs have done a fantastic job about, in those captains' meetings, they said if you don't acknowledge a penalty or report to the box immediately, exit the track immediately, you will be assessed a second penalty possibly. But looks like the no call will stand on this one.
We saw that yesterday. There were several times where the skater did not immediately exit the track. They were assessed that second penalty, and they got to sit for a full minute. Got to experience what 2011 was like.
In some cases, those skaters need a little bit of an extra break, so not too big of a deal, but definitely hurt the point spread just a little bit.
And Drift has grabbed the lead. It's already made his net pass, and before Snuffy can score a point, he calls it off.
Detroit did a fantastic job there bringing the pack away from the opposing jammer. A little bit of faster derby is sometimes a good thing as long as all the skaters on the track have the endurance for that. And with this being day 2 of Roller Derby Tournament 2024, first thing in the morning, these skaters are a little tired, a little achy. So fast derby is always fun to watch on day 2. Massive pile up from Detroit.
But everyone's getting up, which is what we want to see.
Great recycling up front by Detroit. Helps Jax come out first for lead jammer.
Races on though, right-hand man. Just right behind.
Four points for right-hand man. Jack's playing it very safe, cautious, patiently waiting for an opportunity to come through to score his final points. Great strategy there by Detroit as well, recognizing that they were the back wall as the blue jammer was approaching, recycling to the front, giving Jax just a little bit of time to make that approach and score some points.
Especially when you don't have lead jam, it's so important to get your blockers to take that front to give your jammer a chance to pick up some points. Detroit
playing very, very smart right there. Zero facing off against Drift. We got the 0-0 jammers. 0-0-0. Yesterday we actually had a 6-6 and a 6-6-6 jam. That was a lot of fun to watch.
That tied up our tongues a little bit. Just start saying 6 and you can't stop. 6.
I was watching that on the live stream last night when I got back to the Airbnb, and I was like, man, I didn't even recognize that. That was hilarious. Official timeout happening here on track. We will find out what's happening soon. Next Level Skate Shop voted best skate shop in Cleveland. Next Level Skate Shop is a woman-owned business that has been around a long time and official sponsor of the Cleveland Guardians. Be sure to stop by Coco's booth on turn 2 for all your roller derby needs.
All right, we can also take this moment to acknowledge our non-skating officials working today. We have Eggs Benedict, Geonitter, Nick Tater, Wishbone Breaker, Just Tom, Colin Fairley, Scotchy Scott Scott, Ian Malcontent, and Bobby Wan Kenobi.
Scotchy Scott Scott, what a great derby name.
Again, one of those ones that you could just like get, if you try to say it too fast, you're doomed.
Yeah. It could easily end well or bad.
All right, looks like everyone's ready.
4-3 pack advantage for Detroit as Chops, the pivot, is starting in the penalty box, but Chops is standing. Fancy feet by Jax, out lead jammer. Snuffy's still stuck in the back of Detroit's wall. And as I say, that comes out, scoring pass. Jax backwards on the apex, on the outside, one skates, and calls off after scoring 4 points.
He hits it and he quits it.
Detroit doing a fantastic job right now, controlling the clock, controlling the point spread. Has walked away, opening up a 9-point lead going into Jam 10 with 17 and a half minutes.
So far, Detroit's been employing a two-jammer rotation. We're seeing Driftin' Jax. Right-hand man picks up the lead. Drifts right behind, probably quarter track between them.
Detroit had a little bit of help right out the gate with Eat, Chip, and Die, playing just a little bit of offense. Lots of whistles being blown by 3 or 4 officials. That's number 4 Cutter going to the penalty box. Excuse me, Booty Vicious. Nice offense from the outside of turn 3 from Taco.
Oh, dead heat on this one. 6-6. Looks like Zero will take the star for the Guardians. We got Jax for Detroit. We heard something crash. I'm not sure what that was.
That was a Detroit fan making some noise in this sold-out auditorium today.
Zero with lead jam status. Jax not far behind. See if they speed up the pack at all here. Points and call by Zero. Quick little consultation. They want to make sure all the points are accounted for. Looks like Zero picked up 3.
Yeah, once you're approaching the rear side of the pack, going backwards into it's always a gamble. So you never know exactly how far your hips can pass those 1 or 2 blockers for a couple points.
Well, not just, and also your body positioning puts you in a place where if someone can lay a hit on you, it can go bad quick.
Very challenging for the refs on the outside and inside to determine where those points are exactly.
Snuffy has picked up lead jam, scored 4 points. Drift has made their initial, looking to see if they can get some. Snuffy says no. No points for you, Drift.
Closing that gap from 64 to 66. That's 2 jams in a row, I believe, that Detroit has gone 0, correct?
That is correct. I think we're going to see this matchup a lot today. Right-hand man versus Jax. Both sides down at blocker.
Both pivots actually in the penalty box, which is going to be fun. Not that the jammers on either side need them as they come out racing away.
Yeah, neither one was looking for a pass off the line there, which is good because they weren't going to get it.
They were not going to get it.
All right. Right-hand man opts for the 0-0 jam, and both pivots still standing in the box. And we have a timeout called by Blue. Okay. Like what you see here? Want to be part of it? The Cleveland Guardians are actively recruiting and want you. No experience is needed to join the team. We'll teach you everything you need to know about roller derby from the wheels up. Our sport on the spot with there. Our sport offers community and connection with a diverse group of skaters. Email recruiting@clevelandguardians.com for more details and find out how you can be a Guardian today.
Today's after party is going to be an opportunity to celebrate with the roller derby teams at the after party tonight at 5 p.m. Bottle House Brewing Company here in Cleveland Heights on Lee Road. So if you're in the area and you cannot attend for whatever reason, religious reasons, work, family, life, please come on through at 5 o'clock and celebrate with us as we wash away our wounds and aches and pains.
Put a beer on it.
With a beer on it.
Yeah, we can come have a beer, play Chenga. They have some great beers there. When Casco Bay came to Cleveland last year, that's where the after party was, and we sampled quite a few.
I'm sure.
All right, Jack's on the line for Detroit. We've got Zero coming out of the whistle with the lead. Coming out of the whistle? I don't think that's a thing.
Oh, big apex jump there over number 19 Timber of Detroit.
Gets a high five from Jax on that one. Zero go boing.
Zero coming out of that at the call-off had a ginormous smile on his face, and rightfully so, because that was a mega apex jump. Detroit's missing a couple opportunities here with, and again, like, I think if they've got some big blockers, big heavy blockers, and they're not taking advantage of just digging deep into these walls and trying their best to slow down. Like, they're doing everything they can, but man, they got to come up with something to slow these jammers down and give their Detroit jammers a little bit more of an opportunity to get out.
All right, Drift just pick up the lead. Snuffy hot on his heels. Frequent trips to the penalty box continue for both teams. Let's see if he calls it or if he's going to try to kill off some of these penalties. With a 3-on-2 advantage, they may look to score some points here and see if Chip can put body on Snuffy and slow him down. Slow her down, rather.
Out of play block being called on Chip, E-Chip and play. And on Cutter. Booty Vicious.
Cut called on Drift. Going to be a 2-minute jam. Fury out of the box. Taco out of the box. Look at the setup. Cut on Snuffy.
You get a penalty, and you get a penalty. Everybody gets a penalty. Holy cow.
I did not see Hilper here today, but I smelled the magic in the air. Or that is just somebody's pads. No pass, no penalty on Drift there.
More penalties being called. 0-0 Drift is assessed a back block. The jam will be called off as the time clock runs out. So this will be a Cleveland Guardians power jam to start off jam number 16. What a wild ride for that last jam with all the penalties being called.
No, that was a wild jam. Just one right after the other.
Insane. Cleveland Guardians stretching out their lead now, 79-74, 10:50 remaining in this first half.
That was the first points for Detroit and 5 jams with that jam. That's redundant.
First points for Detroit in 5 jams, you said?
First points in 5 jams. They were blanked for 4 in a row there.
Yeah, Cleveland's showing really well how even though both jammers are coming out quickly through the packs, Cleveland jammers have done a fantastic job being aware of positional blocking, time management, points management, and have just really done a fantastic job controlling the gameplay.
The key is going to be to slow things down. We've seen a lot of fast packs and people getting stretched out and just trying to reform. Those mistakes happen, which penalties are getting called on. I think we'll see them try to concentrate on slowing down the packs. I think as this progresses, we'll see stronger tripods, stronger walls, and I think the jammers will see more of a challenge throughout the rest of the game.
Sure. And I just noticed something. I'm actually surprised I didn't notice this earlier. Detroit is now only Detroit is only playing now with 7. I believe they played yesterday with 9. And right now they're only playing with 7. So the blocker rotation now is becoming a major challenge. Right-hand man, lead jammer status, scoring 4 points. Drift struggling in the back of the pack, continuously getting recycled by Cleveland Guardians. I think Cleveland Guardians have figured out how to shut down Drift.
Jammer penalty for the Guardians, right-hand man on their way to the box.
Which for the Detroit Detroit Jammers, the penalties on Cleveland Jammers has really been a saving grace for them.
They've taken advantage of the power jams when presented to them, for sure. The size of the Detroit team lends it to that offense as their jammer approaches the opposing wall.
It's just a little unfortunate that you get the opportunity to be the only scoring jammer on the track. However, now you have to go for a full 2 minutes. That's brutal. That's absolutely brutal.
The good comes with the bad.
Yeah. Drift doing a fantastic job staying in right and up bounds. Oh my goodness, a big hit by 777 Raptor and gets called on a penalty. So 777 now reporting to the penalty box as Drift slows down, only 8 seconds left in the jam. So Drift is going to take a pause and just say, you know what, I'm going to chill back here. Detroit wisely saving all of their timeouts currently. They did this yesterday as well against Pittsburgh. Saved all their timeouts for the second half. But even with only 7 skaters, holding Cleveland to 87-80 is a major, major feat.
Down to 7 skaters too.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the other 2 personnel from Detroit went to, but man, after watching Terminus play with 7 yesterday, it's not easy. It is not easy.
Jax would lead jammer. Zero has made his way through the pack, about a quarter track behind.
Great offense being played by G. Barbie. Jax calls off. I don't know if it was in time, though, because I think Zero scored at least 1 point. Yes, he did. 2-1 jam. That's a major win for Detroit, 88-82.
All right, Snuffy for the Guardians. Jax is repeating 2 in a row.
Snuffy out lead jammer status. G Barbie chasing her down.
Jax right on her heels though, so see if Detroit can take the front there. Force Snuffy to call it out.
Cutter did bring the Detroit wall up to the front. Chewy getting tripped up by their own blocker. Snuffy getting recycled behind Cutter. Solo blocking in the back. Oh, Snuffy sneaks behind, eat chip and die, uncaught him unawares, and is out for 4 big points. Star off for Jax now as he sneaks through the pack.
No, Cutter's done a great job all weekend long. Just great track awareness, smart hits, just some great derby being played by Cutter. Snuffy puts up 7 points on that jam. Jax picks up another 5. Brings us to 95 Guardians, 86 Detroit men's roller derby.
Very, very close game through this first half. And even though we've only got a 9-point difference, Cleveland Guardians slowly walking away.
Detroit doing a good job of getting it. Oh.
Forearm being assessed on 0-0 Drift, and then also with 6-7 Fury being called on a multiplayer block.
Right-hand man makes his first pass of 4. 4 points.
Lots of offense being played. Right-hand man, slippery on turn 1.
Never know when the ninjas in the arena will get you. Drift from the penalty box, instructing his blockers to get out of the apex. Right-hand man just bouncing off those Detroit blockers.
Yeah! 12-0 jam for Pittsburgh, or for Cleveland, excuse me. I apologize. I keep saying Pittsburgh. I'm so used to the Pittsburgh game. I apologize.
Did they take the track when we weren't looking?
I tell you what.
Those cads. Those rogues.
Sneaky folks.
Change up to the Detroit jammer rotation. Number 5, Cutter. I think this is Cutter, definitely Cutter's first jam as a jammer this game. 0 sprints out, gets lead.
Drift is reporting to the penalty box as a pivot, so Cutter will lose the opportunity to pass. 0, the mega apex jump on turn 1. 4 points, calls out the jam.
If you could almost hear the boing.
Detroit's sticking to their guns right now, and I respect this. Detroit, up until this point, has really done a fantastic job maintaining a strong 4-wall, the best that they can. Yesterday with Terminus went from a 4-wall to a continuous 3-wall just to have a stronger rotation and have more team rest, more off-the-track time.
Snuffy picks up lead, puts it in her pocket, looking to pick up some points. Oh.
Mega hit.
Big hit into G Barbie. Just Cutter standing in her way.
Big call off by Snuffy.
0 point jam for Detroit. 4 point jam for Cleveland Guardians.
Now Detroit's got to be real careful now because Drift is sitting on 5 penalties and also number 4, Booty Vicious, on 5 penalties. So if either one of those goes away on 7 penalties, some big problems are going to come to light for Detroit. 8 Chip and Die back on the track as a blocker. He's actually a pivot, taking a few jams off to rest and regroup.
Now they'll have to make some adjustments, especially with those players sitting on the 5 penalties going into the second half. Right-hand man with lead jam. Jack's right behind.
Slowly pacing, taking his time to come back on the track as the blockers pull away just a little bit. Finding every opportunity to rest and regroup.
Looks like Detroit picked up 1 on that jam, and it looks like
2 possibly?
Looks like 2.
Yep.
2-1 jam.
So it's likely to happen again.
So our producer over here is saying that Booty Vicious did foul out on the first game from Detroit, so
0 picks up lead.
let's hope that doesn't happen on this game.
Chip's got the star. You cannot stop him. You can only hope to contain.
Another penalty for Chops coming in from Cleveland. So 4-3 pack advantage to start off Jam 24 with 1 minute remaining in the first half. Cleveland taking a dominating stance here in this to finish out this first half. Controlling the clock, controlling the time, controlling the points, keeping everything slow and tight. Oh, drift out, lead jammer. Actually, that's number 19, Timber. Excuse me.
I got to admit, when I wrote it down in my notes, I did write it down as drift.
They look very similar in their uniform.
Quick 4 points by Timber. Calls off the jam. Let's see if anyone calls a timeout. Get 1 more.
No official whistles as of yet.
This time it really is drift on the line. And it looks like we've gone to intermission.
And with that whistle, we are at intermission. 15 minutes to rehydrate, find our bearings, and come back for a strong second half. I hope all of y'all are enjoying this with us on a Sunday morning here in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. It's such a wonderful, lovely city. Every time I come to Cleveland, I always have a great experience, even though playing with 7 on a roller derby tournament is not the greatest of circumstances. However, all the other things that have happened this weekend in Cleveland continues the trend of just having a wonderful time in this city. I absolutely adore Cleveland, Ohio.
Just file under, we'll get you next time, Gadget. We'll be back next time.
Right-hand man now facing off against Jack to start off the second half. Jack's out easy for lead jammer status. Right-hand man hot on the trail. Continuing the trend of both jammers sneaking through quite easily through these walls. Detroit finally adopting a 3-wall, leaving 1 blocker on the bench. So I believe they're going to do the terminus thing and recycle people a little bit more for more rest, more opportunities for later jams in the second half.
All right, going into jam number 2, we got 0 versus 0-0 drift. is 0-0, and 0 is 0. How many zeros can we say?
The zero jam. Drift out lead jammer status comes on the inside of number 6-7 Fury.
About a half track behind 0.
First penalty being assessed on the second half of Raptor.
Can you fit me this one? This one is better. I fixed it.
2-point jam for
I'll send it to you.
Detroit. That closes the gap from 121 to 94.
It's that hit it and quit it magic.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
You can't just listen for my hand movements. Magic.
Magic hands. A 2-0 jam is actually very important for Detroit right now in this second half. Control the time, control the clock. They're doing a fantastic job.
Control your destiny. Control your narrative.
Detroit out lead jammer against Snuffy. Snuffy has really done a fantastic job this first half doing... Oh my goodness, that was so close on that inside of turn 2. Snuffy wasn't sure if she was inbounds and upright, so she recycles herself back.
Good track awareness there, yielding, making sure that costly cut did not get picked up.
Especially against an agile jammer like Jax.
No, this is not the time to give Jax
any
power
opportunities.
Jam. No.
Yeah. A lot of offense being played by Eat, Chip, and Die. Pushing chops to the center of the track. Clears that out. A lot of noise making being called from the inside of the track. Everybody cheering on the Cleveland Guardians this weekend.
And we have an official timeout. The Cleveland Guardians are excited. Did we already do that one? Oh, never mind. Keep going. Keep going. Says Cleveland Guardians are excited to announce their 2025 home season opener on St. Patrick's weekend, March 15th. Be sure to subscribe to our Twitch channel, watch bouts from past seasons on our YouTube channel, and stay connected with live updates following our Facebook and Instagram using the handle @Cleveland Guardians.
And the Cleveland Guardians would also like to thank their teammate Fury from Needlecraft Embroidery for providing the MVP signs, stickers, and patches for Roller Derby Tournament 2024. Stop by our booth this weekend to see some awesome pieces she makes from her shop. They actually have some fantastic generic Roller Derby 2024 or Roller Derby Tournament 2024 patches that a lot of skaters and non-skaters have purchased this weekend. Very, very cool addition to your Roller Derby entourage.
The ensemble.
Ensemble, that's the word I was thinking of. Yeah.
Outfit your entourage. Is ensemble. Oh.
Power Jam Detroit. Penalty being assessed on right-hand man. That was a back block. Mega opportunity now for Detroit as Drift comes out to the outside of turn 2. Hits the ground, sneaks through. NASCAR zooms, but Cleveland does a fantastic job recycling to the front. Oh, stays in bounds with one hand. 4 points.
Drift calls the jam, freezing right-hand man in the box.
Right-hand man with 4 seconds before he re-enters the pack. I'm so, I fanboy quite a bit whenever I see somebody on their toe stops, leaning back, doing that Michael Jackson lean, holding themselves up. You only have to have one, you can allow one hand to touch outside of the pack as long as your body doesn't touch, and remain inbounds. It's a fantastic thing.
Really does create some exciting moments.
And props to the skaters that can do that, because my old tired body is just absolutely not going to ever allow me to do that.
Do this, body. I would prefer not to.
I would prefer not to. Thank you. 0 with the penalty. Comes in with a pivot stripe. Jack's out 4 points. Right-hand man attacking Detroit. Wall gets chased down, but to no avail. Will also score 4 points. Great offense being played by Timber on the outside of turn 3, allowing Jax to come through. And high fives all around.
The camaraderie in roller derby is one of the things I really enjoy. Like, no matter what, once you find out something, you meet someone, find out you both have that common connector, and you both talk forever, and all your friends go, "We'd like to go. Can we go?"
How do we sign up? Let me tell you what. Cleveland Guardians are actively recruiting and want you. No experience is needed to join the team. They'll teach you everything you need to know about roller derby from the wheels up. Our sport offers a community in connection with a diverse group of skaters. Email recruiting at clevelandguardians.com for more details how you can be a Guardian today.
Snuffy with a star. Lead has been called. Jax takes off the star. Still looking to make his initial.
Snuffy had taken off, or excuse me, Jax had taken off the star. I'm still actively waiting for Jax to pass the star. Snuffy comes through 4 more points. That is an 8-point stretch. Lot of offense being played now by Cleveland as Snuffy stretches out through the front. Looks to the bench and calls off the jam. Snuffy will get 4 additional points to stretch out 12-0 jam for Cleveland Guardians.
That's a pivotal jam for Cleveland as they had been struggling at the start of this period.
Booty Vicious, Cutter, and G Barbie have done a fantastic job with their endurance trying to maintain this Detroit defense lineup. Such a wonderful job doing everything that they can with the minimal skaters that they have.
Right-hand man with the lead. Drift right behind.
Oh, big hit to the pivot. That is Cutter. Even though we are friends on and off the track, this is roller derby, friends, and this does involve some mega hits.
And right-hand man wisely calls it off before Drift can pick up any points.
Holding it down, only a 20-some point difference right now. 141 to 117, 22 minutes going into jam number 8.
So far, this has been a really exciting game. A lot of fast packs, a lot of great jammer action. Jax for Detroit jamming, Snuffy for Cleveland. Both of them are party at 2 sad place right now. Both of them facing very strong tripods.
Snuffy has really started carrying the load here in the second half. Getting a little tripped up by a Detroit blocker, comes out, will be on their scoring pass. Jax out, calls off for 4 points. Detroit doing a much better job in the start of the second half, controlling with the penalties. It was almost like a round robin, like a rotisserie of sorts in the penalty box for Detroit in the first half.
Looks like we have 0 for Cleveland taking the star. Timber for Detroit. So this is the first jam for Timber in the second half.
Cleveland got a little broken up there, but was able to still maintain drift in the pack.
High block called on 0, sending the box. Timber with leads, got a power jam. See what they can make happen.
Jack's playing offense out in front. Detroit recycling and holding the pack definition to the back, allowing Drift to stretch out the defensive wall. Oh, he called on a forearm, so 2-minute jam now. Power jam for Zero as he comes out from the penalty box. Big apex jump, and will start their initial pass.
Did he make that jump over the apex from the penalty box? It almost looked like it there. That was a big one. Zero stretches out the Detroit wall, forcing them to yield.
Great awareness by Cleveland Guardians, holding the inside of the apex to allow Zero to really push that Detroit wall forward. A pirouette of sorts for Zero on the outside of the back straightaway. And is running away with the points now, 12-0. Big hits now.
Star pass by Detroit. Jax with the star.
Zero hit Timber very, very hard and had to take a second there on the inside of turn 3. The officials were checking on him to make sure he wasn't hurt, and he just like, no, I'm fine. I just need a moment.
$15-point jam for the Guardians on that one, bringing them to 156. And showing 4 points so far. I wonder if that'll stick for Detroit.
31-point difference as it stands, and we get an official timeout.
You're good at math. Like I had to think about that. I'm like 30. Like you just boomed for 31. I'm like, nah.
25 to 50 is 25 plus 6.
I was ready to get my popsicle sticks. I was going to set them up.
We got some wonderful Ricola candies we can do some maths with,
yes.
Like a bead machine. So a penalty being assessed to Cutter at the end of that jam. So this will start off a... I'm not sure what the penalty was. I'd like to find out.
Coming up as illegal contact.
Legal contact. Yes. So Cutter now sitting on 5 penalties. That makes their 5th penalty, and that makes 3 Detroit roller derby skaters on 5 penalties. I have not seen it this close with penalty since I believe it was...
And Drift with the star for Detroit gains lead. Right-hand man, quarter track behind, looking to close that gap.
Drift in the inside, calls off the jam, scores 4 points, but not before Cleveland scores 3 for right-hand man. I was going to say, I believe it was Collision Roller Derby played against Chinook in northern Colorado several years back. And Collision had fouled out several of their skaters. They were down to 6 skaters, and 4 of them were sitting on 6 penalties with like 4.5, 5 minutes remaining. And they're like, Collision did a fantastic job holding it together to finish out the rest of the gameplay, because they knew if they lost one person, they were going to have to call off the game.
That's rough.
It was brutal.
It
was a lot of fun to watch, but I definitely felt their pain watching from the side track.
It's one of those moments where you're glad. I am fortunate to experience this by watching only.
By watching only. Sometimes the best thing in the house is being a spectator.
Is it the Schadenfreude?
Oh, yeah.
Taking joy in others' misery.
You're a masochist. We do have a team timeout here by Cleveland Guardians with a few seconds remaining. Snuffy coming out against Jax. And 2 Detroit skaters in the penalty box. Booty Vicious and Cutter. Booty Vicious now sitting on 6 penalties. And this is going to be the make or break situation here for Detroit Roller Derby. Snuffy comes out, hits, eat, chip, and die.
No pack called. Snuffy with lead.
Eat, chip, and die being called on a multiplayer block. So 2 more Cleveland Guardians racing into the penalty box. Snuffy comes out, sneaks on the outside of turn 2, 4 points, Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah, today's been skate laps do crime sort of day. A lot of people going to the penalty box.
Jack's coming out as a no pack situation being called for Cleveland Guardians.
Detroit has to yield. Snuffy makes the pass. Chip is back on the track. The box is clear. We're back at full strength on both sides. I spoke too soon.
That is the pivot number 42, Adrenaline Rush, reporting to the penalty box.
And Snuffy calls the jam.
Official timeouts.
That was a dead heat with both teams scoring 8. Brings us to 167 Cleveland Guardians, 137 Detroit Men's Roller Derby.
Now, as you're watching the live stream, I know what you're thinking. Those scrimmage jerseys you're seeing out in the audience look pretty sweet, and that you want one. Well, guess what? You can. For a limited time, Roller Derby Tournament scrimmage jerseys with custom names and numbers are available here at the event or on the web store. While you're there, you can also get some official Cleveland Guardians merchandise all year long as t-shirts, tanks, hoodies, hats, patches, and so much more.
I know last year with the Western Hemisphere Cup, they had a similar offer, and I wore my whites yesterday while on broadcast, and for the last game of the day, I'll wear my black.
I'm actually really upset with myself that I did not get one of those Western Hemisphere jerseys, because they really did look amazing.
And I did order the Roller Derby Tournament 2024 jerseys. Looking forward to that mail day.
Absolutely. $16:20 remaining in the second half. 170 to 137 Cleveland Guardians. This will be a power jam start for Detroit with Drift under the star.
In between jams, Snuffy was assessed a track cut and has reported to the box.
No pass, no penalty being awarded for Drift as he come out lead jammer status. G. Barbie being called on the penalty, report to the penalty box. A little bit slippery out here on the backside of the track as 2 Cleveland skaters fall to the ground, allowing Drift to come out for 4 points.
Snuffy has returned to the track on their initial. Detroit looking to put up their wall. Hold back Snuffy.
Drift was trying to use Booty Vicious as a battering ram, trying to go through the Cleveland wall, but to no avail, is still stuck in the pack. Jam is called off as Snuffy re-enters the pack. And official timeout being called by Cleveland Guardians.
Drift got knocked out, laying on his back in front of the medics. Goes, this is enough. We can move on to the next jam.
This is fine. Everything is fine.
The floor is cool. It's okay. I kind of like it.
I had a moment there yesterday where I got hit by a Flower City skater, not nice, which I had to take a second on that floor because the floor is actually quite nice and cool. And even though it's hard, it's quite enjoyable down there after 4 halves of roller derby. I did not mind laying there after a big hit.
I live here now.
Yeah. This is my happy place. Up Up on my skates is a sad place. On the floor is my happy place. I'm okay.
Send drinks and snacks, please.
Drinks and snacks. Yeah. Somebody bring me some Dino Nuggies.
The straw broke on my juice box. I didn't get my nap.
Yeah, and after driving 10 and a half, almost 11 hours from Atlanta last night to make it here, any opportunity to rest vertically or horizontally is always a welcome treat.
No, those 10-hour card rides, I just find myself lying in the hotel bed and my body still feels like it's in motion from the highways.
One of our skaters this morning said, we're going to do a change of address to this Airbnb. We're just not going to go anywhere. So Cleveland Guardians is looking for a low block call on the previous jam on the previous jammer. And the no call will stand.
Okay.
So lucky break for Detroit men's roller derby going into jam number 13. 170-144. They had a 7-0 point jam on that last jam. So mega opportunity to keep the score tight as we approach the fourth quarter of this game 1, day 2 roller derby tournament 2024.
Right-hand man for Cleveland, Jacks for Detroit. Next whistle will start the jam. Cleveland taking the back. Strong line out there for Detroit with Chip, G. Barbie, Cutter, and Booty. It looks like it's Booty Vicious. Yep.
Right-hand man played a little bit of defense there at the start of the jam against Jax. He was able to hold him back just long enough to make a play and come out lead jammer status.
Get Jax caught up on one of your blockers and make your way. It's 4-0 jam. Even I can do this math. 30-point difference currently.
Yeah, even only playing with 6, Detroit really keeping this super tight, and most of that success has been with the jammer rotation. My goodness, the overall athleticism and impeccable. It's just been unbelievable from Detroit.
Cleveland starting off with 0 playing some defense as well. Looking to create those opportunities to make his way through the pack.
Cleveland just did a fantastic job from the front. The wall came back and actually crushed down on Detroit wall very nicely to allow Detroit jammer to come out for lead jammer status.
Jax has made his initial and been called lead, looking to score points on this pass. 0 continuing to play defensively. Some coarse language from the Detroit coach, but it wasn't directed at anybody, so it's no harm, no foul.
No pack being called now. Oh, high block on 0, so power jam goes to Detroit. Jax all by himself against Just Crazy in the front of the pack. Comes out, lead jammer status, 4 points.
Get up.
Detroit sitting back. Everybody playing offense now, coming up inside, 4 points.
A little bit of rocket pie, as we call it in Casco Bay.
Detroit being real patient here with their offense, picking and choosing exactly where they want to play.
Jack's doing a great job of directing his blockers as to what sort of offense he wants played.
on fresh legs. Zero comes out, tries to sneak out in front of Jax. Jax calls off the jam. 12-0 closes the gap, 174 and 156, with just over 12 minutes remaining going into jam 15.
Detroit and Cleveland, they're making their claim for game of the day. This is a tight game, and it does look like both teams have been successful and reeling it in and being more disciplined. We've seen fewer penalties in the second half so far than we saw in the first.
So fewer penalties. Snuffy getting lead jammer status from the ground.
Great tenacity by Snuffy to get that lead jam. Drift right on her heels, though. Let's see what Detroit and Cleveland can do as far as points go.
Comes up on the inside of Booty Vicious and Cutter. Calls out the jam. Very, very close to get 1 point.
And 4 points for Detroit on that one. Drift just zipped right through.
So a couple jams ago, Detroit was down by 31 points. They have now closed the gap to 15 with 11 points to go.
Wait till we get to the essay portion of the test, Bujitsu, and then I will dominate. Math is not for me.
My goodness.
All right, right-hand man for Cleveland, and we've got Jax for Detroit. Both of them fighting with tough walls.
Oh, that was a huge hit from Cutter. Excuse me, it was actually Timber. Timber knocking right-hand man to the ground, allowing Jax to come through. That was a mega, mega play by Detroit roller derby. Cutter has now come to the penalty box on the 7th penalty. Oh, excuse me, no, this is the 6th. This is the 6th. Oh my goodness, I thought that was the 7th.
Bodies flying everywhere.
Detroit right now showing a mega warrior spirit, a Spartan mentality as they call a official review going into Jam 17, starting down with 1 blocker in the penalty box. They now have two blockers with 6 penalties. The jammer Drift is sitting on 5.
Those are the same 5 that Drift got in the first half. So far in 20 minutes into this second half, looking
mega
pretty good.
Mega turnaround.
Well, sometimes I know as a coach is the ability to adapt. As you learn, not only are you learning the team that you're playing, you're learning the referees and what sort of metric they're looking for. And then once you have that information, then you can, as a team, work together to make those adjustments so those same mistakes are not made throughout the rest of the game.
100%. And as you go through especially on the second day, you're tired, you're fatigued, you're hungry, slightly dehydrated, and only playing with 6 players, 7 players, it really puts a toll on your overall mental state, your mind state, and really makes things even more challenging going into those games. Little over 10 minutes left. Trying to get the official word here of what is being waited on. What is it? Okay, gotcha. Okay, so they were looking for an incorrect penalty or incorrect points being awarded to Cleveland Guardians. They were saying that the 4 points should not have been awarded, that was actually their initial pass, not the scoring pass. So we're going to take a look to see if those 4 points stand.
All right.
Any opportunity to rest is always important, but also this is a very tight game, very close game. So 1 point matters. 4 points matter even more. Even though it's a 4-point, a 4-4 jam, if we can knock that down to a 4-0 jam for Detroit, mega win for our friends in white.
Like getting those 4 points for moves is like a free hit it and quit it jam.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know it's only 10:30 in the morning, but let's talk about beer.
I love beer.
We would like to thank Athletic Brewing Company for donating some of their amazing beverages for Roller Derby Tournament 2024. Athletic Brewing is dedicated to crafting delicious non-alcoholic beer you can enjoy anytime and anywhere with no worries and no hangovers. Stop by the beer box to try one or all of the 4 tasty options available this weekend. I had their golden last night in between announcing, and it was if I hadn't known, I wouldn't have known that there was no alcohol in that beer. It was very good.
And that's all the, a wonderful opportunity as well to have a tasty adult beverage without all the alcoholic.
What comes with it?
What comes with it? Thank you.
And
it's early morning. I apologize, friends.
It's Sunday. We can morning. Well, no, we can't morning drink, but it is totally acceptable to have your bacon and eggs and beer. Still some discussion going on with
bacon pancakes. Next up for Game 7 will be Pittsburgh Roller Derby Zombies against Philadelphia Hooligans. So stay tuned for that. That will be at 11 a.m. being called by Pinky and your boy Bujitsu. That's going to be an insane game. I love that the Philadelphia Hooligans are back after a short hiatus.
Definitely, mainstay in the MRDA. Love the Hooligans. Again, the Hooligans are one of those teams that, welcomed Casco Bay and, treated us as little brother. And by treating us as little brothers, they taught us great lessons and beat us soundly. They had a skater. I remember Battle of Bunker Hill. I was coaching, and they had a skater named D-Day. And we were down like probably like 300 points. D-Day just does this massive apex jump, and I yell at him, "I'm not even mad." That was awesome, because it was.
D-Day was always a lot of fun to watch, especially at Battle of Bunker Hill. I remember I announced Battle of Bunker Hill, I believe it was in 2017 or 18, and just completely blown away with the amount of talent that was available back then. Such great people. But Philadelphia Hooligans back in the mix with stuff, and very excited to see them play once again here in Cleveland, Ohio.
We got that red-hot 0-on-0-0 action. Both sides hoping that their points total this jam will not be 0. Each 0 wants to be a hero, and I will stop now.
Oh!
0 goes boing! Calls the jam.
I think 0 is in the wrong sport. I think, Olympic jumping, NBA possibly, because that had a lot of airtime. That was a lot of fun to watch.
It's got to be the skates. Like the old Air Jordan Spike Lee commercials. It's got to be the shoes.
It's got to be the shoes.
It's got to be the shoes.
Oh, now you're going way back, my friend.
I'm here for all your jaded
1980s and 90s pop culture pun. Very slow-moving derby right now. Jax and Snuffy. Jax being called on a penalty for a back block, it looks like. Yeah, back block. So Power Jam Cleveland Guardians as Snuffy comes out, lead jammer status.
Snuffy coming into back, looking to do business. Cleveland Guardian blockers looking to play some offense, break up that Detroit wall, stretch them out. Chip says, back of the line, Snuffy, back of the line.
Chip and Die controlling the Detroit blockers from the rear of the pack. Cleveland playing offense on the inside. Snuffy goes to the outside. Chip doing a fantastic job taking control of this Detroit wall. Really like stepping up as the commander-in-chief here and putting Detroit exactly where they need to shut Snuffy down for just 3, possibly 4 points. 4 points. Great commanding there from the Detroit wall by Chip, doing everything that they can to slow down Snuffy, which has become a really big challenge here in the second half. Is Snuffy really dominating as a jammer? Looks like we had a team timeout.
Apologize for the long pause. We were thinking. If you smell burning, it was us. Ooh, and Pinky brought us Haichu.
So flavors. Pinky said a very, very bold statement yesterday that I was almost offended by, that Haichus are better than Starburst. And she almost has me convinced. Almost. They are pretty fantastic. My first time having a Haichu. I love these things. Haichu is not sponsoring Roller Derby Tournament 2024, but they are quite delicious and highly recommended.
I should work on that sponsorship.
We should work on that sponsorship.
And Jax leaps out, gets lead jam. Right-hand man going to the box for Cleveland. This is not what Cleveland wants. Does not want to give up power jams this late in the game.
23-point difference here. A multiplayer block being called on Cutter. And that would be 7 penalties.
That's the game for Cutter.
Dang. Such a wonderful skater to watch. And only having 7 players, it is extremely tough to stay penalty-free. But tough fight all the way through, has done a fantastic job all the way to the end. Right-hand man sneaking on the route outside of turn 4, comes out for their first scoring pass. Jax gets a little bit of help from the defensive wall, calls off the jam, closes the gap by 11-0, 187-175, folks. We have a 12-point game with 6.5 minutes going into Jam 20. 12-point difference. Oh, my goodness. Now Detroit will be down 1 blocker overall, so they're going to have to finish with a... Like, pretty much everybody's going to have to stay on the track at this point.
Pretty much. You know,
minus the jammer rotation.
0-0. 0-0, rather.
Big apex jump by Drift coming on the inside of Blitzkrieg. 2 points being awarded to Cleveland. 4 points being awarded to Detroit. Coming just a little bit closer. We are now down to 10-point difference.
189-179. I knew this was going to be a tight game, but this is a nail biter.
I do not want to look away from this, friends. Oh my goodness. As long as we don't have another foul out, because we're close on two players.
Snuffy for the Guardians, Jax for Detroit.
Back block being called on Chops. So lead jammer status to Jax for Detroit.
Power jam for Detroit. Snuffy is exiting.
Mega opportunity now for Detroit. Jax says, do not come near the wall. I got this under control. 4 points, Detroit. Closes to 6 points, 189-183. Mega opportunity now for Detroit to shut this game down. sneaks outside, dances on the inside. 4 more points to Jackson, Detroit. Chops now re-enters the pack. Detroit being led by Eat, Chip, and Die. Big hits being played everywhere from Detroit Wall. Jax did sneak in and grab a point or two before being recycled by 130 or 1330 Chirakia. Snuffy comes out as on their scoring pass. Whoa, my goodness, 4 more points. Folks, we have a lead change. 190-189 to Detroit Roller Derby with just under 4 minutes left in play.
Do they only have 5 skaters now?
No, 6.
So they just lost somebody to a foul out.
So Detroit right now only has 6 skaters. The Blockers have a heavy workload ahead of them. Drift out, lead jammer status for Detroit.
Right-hand man, quarter track behind, looking to close that gap.
Everybody off to the races now trying to stay away from Drift.
Fast pass.
Drift goes through, calls off the jam. 4 points goes to Drift. 0 to Cleveland Guardians. Oh, there was only 3 points to Drift. Under 3 minutes now, going into Jam 23, 193-189. This has been a turn of events, friends.
We're under 3 minutes. 0 for the Cleveland Guardians, lining up against Jax for Detroit Men's Roller Derby. Cleveland's taking the back, doing the rollback. Got to think that, Zero is going to try to play some defense off the line, but get those opportunities to gain lead.
Booty Vicious doing a fantastic job knocking Zero to the inside of the track. Jax out leads jammer status for Detroit Men's Roller Derby. Zero quickly out as well.
Half track behind. You just got to think that Jax is going to hit and quit.
4 points to Jax. Zero comes in hot. 0 to Cleveland. 4 to Detroit. Detroit now taking a dominating command of this. 197-189. Only 8-point difference now separating Detroit with Cleveland.
With less than 2 minutes left, Jax just says, "Give me the ball, coach." And then coach told him, "We're playing roller derby. There is no ball."
Roller derby.
Snuffy for Cleveland.
Jax almost made it on that front side straightaway.
Snuffy
comes out, lead jammer
picks up
status.
lead jam, right behind Jax. Let's see what the Blockers can do on both sides here.
Big hit to Timber on Snuffy. Jax is almost through. 1 to beat, comes out, 4 points. Snuffy now being trapped behind Booty Vicious. Snuffy is now behind. Detroit has G Barbie playing a little bit of offense.
Yeah, great job by G Barbie getting that Cleveland defense rolling, enabling Jax to navigate through that pack.
Booty Vicious has now just got a penalty. They were trying to call an official review in the middle of the jam.
It don't work like that.
Booty Vicious is getting 2 penalties. An official timeout. Oh, this is a mega turn of events. Oh my goodness. So Booty Vicious is now fouled out with 8 penalties. Eat, Chip, and Die is also in the penalty box with the pivot stripe. So this will bring us now down to 5 skaters with 25 seconds. Booty Vicious yelling to the teammates, "I am so sorry."
Booty, you did great. That was awesome.
What a fight these skaters have put up. 25 seconds left. Cleveland has a big feat against them right now. 205, 197, 25 seconds remaining. If Detroit can come out,
Cleveland has used all their timeouts. They've used their official review. It is pivotal that Drift makes that clean pass and gets that lead jam. Just call it. Don't go for extra.
Don't go for extra. Get out, get lead jam, shut down the play clock.
Steak don't need no gravy. Just shut it.
Oh,
just send it.
Just a little bit of salt, baby. Let's go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. You off to the races.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Eat, Chip, and Die is standing in the penalty box. This is like one of the most nerve-wracking situations we could possibly face.
Pinky is going through her nails like corn on the cob, like you see in a cartoon. Typewriter.
Right hand man, out of lead jammer status. Unfortunate situation for Detroit. Drift now out for scoring pass.
Detroit just needs the match points at this.
Now the best case scenario for Detroit is that right-hand man somehow get a penalty. Eat, Chip, and Die knocking right-hand man to the outside of turn 3. Eat, Chip, and Die returning to the penalty box. Oh no! The
penalty on Drift.
Oh no! So now right-hand man just has to score 1 point, call off the jam.
Skate clean. Gets past G Barbie.
Just in case Drift is secretly sitting on 4 points, they are going through for one more pass, calls off just for safekeeping. And the Cleveland Guardians wall erupts with that final jam. Oh
16
my
point.
goodness.
16-point jam by right-hand man to finish the game, take the lead, and get the win for the Cleveland Guardians.
Folks, I am blown away. That was one of the most insane, exciting games I have ever
Pinky,
seen.
your goose pimples resulted in my goose pimples. It's just like did the temperature drop?
Passing them down the line.
Wow, what a finisher.
Both teams should be super proud of their performances today. Just the guts and grit of Detroit men's roller derby, coming in short, bench getting shorter. All hit, no quit.
All hit, no quit. The tenacity and athleticism and overall sportsmanship for Detroit men's roller derby. They got nothing to be sad about with this. Tough game all the way through. A fantastic job. So much fun to watch.
Thank you, Bujitsu. It's been great announcing with you.
Truck, absolutely. It has been a pleasure. We do have next up Pittsburgh Roller Derby facing off against Philadelphia Hooligans at 11 a.m. Whatever time zone Cleveland is in. I think it's Central.
I think we're still in the Eastern.
Or Eastern? Could be Eastern. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
The more you know. Game number 7 coming up, folks. This is day 2, game 1 of Roller Derby Tournament 2024. I'm Bujitsu, and we are out.
I'm Chuck Norris. Take care.